Hi, welcome to my very first YouTube tutorial. I am 52 and never thought to be on YouTube to make a tutorial, but you see, you're never too old to do weird things. 2 months ago, I bought a Control 1 from SoundSwitch, and if you are using SoundSwitch, you are familiar with this screen, the SoundSwitch software. It went with ups and downs, but I see a lot of potential for the future, so actually I'm in general very happy with SoundSwitch. But this is the software. You have some hardware and it gives DMX data on an XLR, and that's it. So if you want to play here and see the result, you either need or your physical fixtures or a visualizer. And I've built up, I think, 20 times my fixtures, and yeah, I'm a bit tired of this, so I started to look for a visualizer, and that's where I spent a lot of hours. I read a lot, I learned a lot, I struggled a lot, but finally it works. And this experience I'd like to share with you, and I hope you can do the same to have also a visualizer together with SoundSwitch. MA Lighting is a German company. It's a very big company, or I mean they have very big consoles for huge events with many fixtures then, of course. And these consoles are running with software, and the software, Grand MA or GrandMA, I call it GrandMA 3 is the latest version, is available for download for free on Mac and Windows. So the software is free, and another point, you don't need any hardware for what we are gonna do, using it as a visualizer. If you want to use GrandMA as a DMX software thing to send DMX, and you want it on a physical XLR output, then you need hardware, but not for our purpose. So, first thing you have to do in SoundSwitch, this is made because I use two computers. For my DJing, I have a MacBook Air with my DJ software, Virtual DJ, and SoundSwitch. And because I'd like to have the visualizer on another screen, and I thought when I connect a second screen on my MacBook, then maybe the processing will begin to come slow or too heavy for my MacBook. So that's why I decided to use a second computer, this Windows machine, and have there the visualizer on another screen, and also the processing then. So this small movie is made on my Mac, to make it clear. So I will show you what you have to do in SoundSwitch. So you go to, no, I have to press this button on the other screen. So you have to go to here, the configuration, and then by default it is disabled, this option, enable ArtNet. So you have to, sorry, by default it is disabled. You have to enable it, and once this is done, don't forget to press done. And what I also did is just restart then SoundSwitch. If it's required, I don't know, but I did. And then at the end, if everything works fine, you should see this in your SoundSwitch, that something is connected to your SoundSwitch. But then actually it already works, so you don't care about this. It's just to tell you this can be found later on. So you will find a link down below where to download the Grand MA software. You have to unzip it and install it. And when you run it, you will see this. Let's put it in the middle of the screen. And then you will get this release note notification if you hit this button, the next time you won't see it anymore. But let's keep it as it is. So you have to agree. This is that my hard drive is almost full. We don't pay attention on this. This is the screen you normally should see the first time you run Grand MA. So I have on my MacBook SoundSwitch running. I have an auto loop, always playing the auto loop. And both are connected by Wi-Fi on the same network, so on the same SSID. So actually I can ping from one computer to the other. That's important, of course, that the data is on one network. If it's wired or wireless, doesn't matter, but both computers must see, let's say, each other. In GrandMA, I started a new project, let's say, tutorial, but for some reason all other settings are still there, so that's a bit annoying to learn or tell you what to do, because a lot of things are already there. Let's close this one. Yes, that's a bit easier for you then. So in GrandMA you have to press this button and this will start the configuration or the menu. So I'm using the latest release 2.0.2.0. This is the latest release, and here you press on network. I'm using this GrandMA software on a Windows, on a Dell computer with an IP address, but this is not the IP address I use. So this line must be green, which means GrandMA is running as master. So you can close or stop this action by pressing this button. And I don't know, because I played a lot around, but this actually must be my Wi-Fi interface. All this information is put by default, so don't care about this, but this is very important to connect, let's say, GrandMA to my Wi-Fi interface. So then we're gonna start it again and it should become green, and now you see my IP address is my IP address of my Windows machine where I run GrandMA. These things I haven't changed, so I don't care about it. Here you see the session is online. You can see how long it is started or active. So I close this. Next thing is to press again this configuration button and go to the DMX protocols. You press it. On the left hand side there are two tabs, ArtNet and SACN. ArtNet is actually a protocol to send DMX 512 data over TCP/IP. So over either an Ethernet cable or Wi-Fi. So we are using ArtNet. So press this button. You also enabled ArtNet in SoundSwitch, remember. I see something strange, but I don't know if it's important because by default this is set to 10.0.0.1 if I'm not mistaken, like this. Important thing is, here is the interface. So the interface I'd like to use is my Wi-Fi interface because I'm connected wireless to my MacBook. So I selected here Wi-Fi, and this software is able to send or receive DMX information over then ArtNet. So output we are not interested in. Of course we are interested to receive input data from SoundSwitch. Here we have two tabs, data and nodes. Data you first have to set. So I tried to delete this one and starts from scratch, but for some reason you see it's not possible. If you tap here, you can just give it a name, or you right click. Yes, you just give it a name, whatever you want. I called it SoundSwitch ArtNet. You close it. By default, this one is disabled. So by default, you see this, I guess. And mode is also put to auto. If I'm not mistaken, this is the initial screen you are seeing. So enable input, also enable this one, and don't enable setup mode for some reason. So what you have to do is you have to enable the first line by right clicking this box, and the mode we are using is input. That's very important because we'd like to use the output data from SoundSwitch to an input of GrandMA. This is data. This is actually configuration of the master, I guess, the main machine, and the nodes is what it sees. So what GrandMA is receiving from input. So you see SoundSwitch is already active. If I delete this node, is it possible? No, it's not possible. It's red for some reason, and I think it has to do with this because you see my network is 192.168.100 and then a specific address for each client. By default, so this preferred IP address is set to this. So this you have to change to your network, 192.168.100, and then you use the gateway number 1. And now I hoped, let's see if SoundSwitch is running on my other computer. Yes, it is running, and you see this line becomes white, active. If I delete it, before I was able, so these are the nodes. This comes automatically if you have a correct communication with SoundSwitch. And before I was able to delete this, and I wanted just to show you that it automatically comes back. Oh, I see it, it is locked. Yes, I played around with a lot of settings. So here you can lock, because once it works, you don't want to touch it anymore. So it was locked. So if I delete this node, you see it immediately comes up back, because it receives data from SoundSwitch. And this is my IP address of my MacBook. If I now, for example, close SoundSwitch, you can't see it, but if I close SoundSwitch on my MacBook, apologize for my bad English, it's not my native language, but I do my best. SoundSwitch is closed. I will again delete this node. You see, nothing happens. So this should come automatically. If your network settings are correct, here, start with this, your network setting, and actually nothing has to be done here, just you have to select the interface you are using, either Wi-Fi or an Ethernet interface from your computer. You have to select. So I select here Wi-Fi, and then I start the machine. This should become green. You see, then the session starts. This has to be done at first. This may be closed then, and then you go to the MX protocol, and here you have to enable input, enable this, put the mode to input, and actually that's it. And then you go to node. I will start again SoundSwitch on my MacBook. I start SoundSwitch. Even before I see the edit and perform buttons, you see it's already there. And this naming comes automatically. Nothing has to be done. So I click here on edit on my SoundSwitch. I go to auto loop. I select an auto loop and I just run the auto loop. That's what I do on my SoundSwitch. You can't see it sits on another computer. So here, then you have to patch your fixtures. This can be done here in patch, because in SoundSwitch you patched your fixtures with the DMX address and with the specific mode. You have to do the same here, because GrandMA has to know which fixtures you are using. So you go to patch. It seems, yes, because I started a new tutorial, so I don't have any fixture yet in my system here, so that's very good. I am using old Showtech compact bar. These bar cans I use. So you just enter here a brand and a type, or even a type is enough, I think. You see, compact bar, and then you can select. So compact bar is using by also Sterville and other brands. You select Showtech, then this type, and then the mode you were using, so 6-channel. Then you press here select. Now I can say how many of these fixtures I am using. I use 4 of these, and let me have a look within the DMX setting in SoundSwitch, which my first DMX address is. It is, where are they? That's weird. Here. 95. So this patch, the number 1 here means universe 1, and my first address is 95 from my first fixture. So I press here please, and please again, and the other DMX addresses are filled in automatically. That's it. And then if you have more fixtures, because in my first trial I've put much more fixtures, you just press here new fixture, insert new fixture, and then do again the same and just edit. This is the patching of your fixtures. If you close, you see it says save and exit, so then it's saved. Now we have to go to the 3D, because we have to, within the 3D, can I find this? Because before I had a menu here. This is what I wanted to see. Here you have the 3D viewer. This pops up. I've put it on auto. And what I forgot to mention is, so to close a window, you press here this MA sign and you delete window, and then it goes away. What I forgot to mention is an ID of the fixture. So if you press here again fixture, you see the fixtures. And wow, what you see here is already the colors from my auto loop in SoundSwitch. Yeah, it works. This ID, every fixture has an ID. So here from 1 to 4, you see? Just to make it more excited now, I will start another auto loop with other colors, and you will see that the colors are changing. You see, this is another auto loop. So you see what my 4 parts are doing in this auto loop. Nice, eh? But we don't see it in the visualizer. Important thing is here the ID. I told you 1 till 4. We have to remember. So we close this. Again, we press DMA and we say delete window. Same here. We don't need this. So we go to 3D and I see already something. Oh, that's nice. Here you have a command line. If you press here clear, because you see there are 2 fixtures selected. Which ones? I don't know. I'm also not a specialist in this. This is all what I learned myself. So if you press clear, you go back to, let's say, the initial thing and no fixtures are selected. So if I press now here in the command prompt, because fixture is already active by default, if I press 1, this is my ID of my first fixture, and I just enter, I see 1 fixture is selected. And this is the fixture I see here. Now to position it in the room, let's zoom a bit because you see it's under the floor. That's strange. You have to press here, but it's difficult to see. Here you have a button setup. So you press setup, and with this fixture selected, I can position my fixture. So the Z position is the up. So let's say it's 2 meters from the ground. Oop, there you go. It's 2 meters up. I've put it -2 meters to the left. There you go. And we can also flip it a bit. I don't know where it will be if I put 90. Yeah. We see already something. So this is one compact bar we have in the visualizer. If I press clear, you will see here that I will deselect this fixture. Okay, now I press number 2 to select my second fixture. There it is, again under the ground for some reason. So I put the position also on 2 meters height. And I keep it in the middle, and this one I put to 90 degrees. There it is. So this is how it works actually. There is a bit of other things to do, because with my moving heads I've seen that the color is not following the movement. Pen and tilt is working, and that's it, because the color is not following, and here I am, and the gobos are also not working. So next thing I'd like to do is to go deeper, dive in deeper these things, and yeah, hopefully I'm able to do it. So if you are interested in future tutorials, just subscribe. And or if you have any comment, just put it down, and hopefully this was interesting for you and you can do the same and have a visualizer together with SoundSwitch. First thing I will try is to make everything on my Mac. So running Grand MA3 on my MacBook and having there the same, because this was one question of the guys on the Facebook group from SoundSwitch. Hopefully see you in the future, and good luck to do the same on your computers. Thank you. Bye bye.